Do you like Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies? What about no-bake cookie recipes? I'm Ashley from ConfectionaryHouse.com, and if you said yes to either of these things, then you're going to love our no-bake copycat Thin Mint cookie recipe. This Thin Mint cookie recipe is my go-to for holiday cookie exchanges. It's also great in the summer too when you can't bear to turn on the oven. Or make them all year long to satisfy your Girl Scout cookie cravings. These Thin Mint cookies have the same sweet, salty, peppermint flavor and flaky crunch, just like a real Thin Mint cookie. And you won't believe the secret ingredient that makes these cookies taste just like a Girl Scout cookie. Ritz Crackers. Yup, you've got Ritz Crackers dipped in delicious dark Merckens candy coatings flavored with Lorann Peppermint Oil. And that's it. That's the secret to making Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies. I have mine drizzled with Merckens green candy coatings. It just adds that perfect level of holiday flair. One of my favorite parts about these Ritz Thin Mint cookies is when I bring them to a cookie exchange or over to a friend's house and they start eating them and I tell them that they're made with Ritz Crackers, they're always in disbelief and it becomes this great topic of conversation. People are always amazed by this recipe. Plus, these no-bake cookies only require 3 ingredients to make. 1 pound of Merckens dark candy coatings, Ritz Crackers. You'll be able to dip about 3 sleeves of Ritz Crackers with 1 pound of Merckens dark chocolate. Lorann Peppermint Oil. You're going to need at least 2 droppers full or 1/8 of a teaspoon. And you might also want to pick up a bag of our Merckens dark green candy coatings to drizzle onto your cookies. You'll need less than 1 pound. I chose to use Merckens dark green candy coatings for these cookies because people normally put green and mint together, but you could use any color you'd like. If you want to drizzle these with white chocolate or red chocolate, it's really up to you. Place 1 pound of Merckens dark chocolate candy coatings in a glass microwave safe bowl. Place your Merckens candy coatings in the microwave for 30 seconds. Take it out of the microwave, give it a stir, and place it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds. Continue doing this, stirring in between intervals until your chocolate is completely melted. As the chocolate begins to melt and you only have a couple lumps left, you can drop your time down to about 10 to 20 seconds. Here we are back with our melted Merckens candy coatings. I melted this 30 seconds at a time. In between those 30-second intervals, I made sure to stir this very well. It took me about 5 times in the microwave to melt this chocolate, and that's always going to vary and depend on a couple of things. One, if your house is warm or cold, it might take a little longer or less time to melt your chocolate. Also, the wattage of your microwave. The microwave I'm using today is 950 watts, and I microwaved at high power. So if your microwave is a higher wattage or a lower wattage, you might have to put it in and out of the microwave more or less times. Add your peppermint oil. We're going to add about 2 droppers full of peppermint oil to the melted Merckens candy coatings. This works out to be about 1/8 of a teaspoon. If you'd like your chocolate more pepperminty, you can always add more. Just give it a taste, make sure it's not too much. Add more if you need to. Also, be very careful if you get any of this peppermint oil on your fingers. Don't touch your eyes, it will burn. I always like to wash my hands after using a bottle of peppermint oil, just in case. Stir the peppermint flavoring into the melted Merckens candy coatings, making sure it's completely combined. It's very important to only use oil-based flavorings with candy coatings. If you try to use an extract, your chocolate will seize. You can get lots of different flavorings for your chocolate. We carry a whole line of Lorann flavoring oils, and they're made just for putting in chocolate and hard candy, so you can make your chocolate any flavor you'd like. Next, you're going to need a fork or a dipping tool, and you're going to need a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. And now comes the fun part. Dipping the Ritz in the chocolate. Just gently drop one of your Ritz crackers into the melted chocolate and use a fork or dipping tool to flip it around into the chocolate. Scoop it out of the bowl. Give it a little tap on the side of the bowl. This will help remove excess chocolate. Scoop it off to the side. set it right on your parchment paper. Continue doing this with all of your Ritz Crackers. If you'd like to drizzle your cookies with colored Merckens candy coatings, you can do that, but make sure you do it while the cookies are still wet before the dark chocolate has hardened and set up. So to do that, I like to work in batches. Once this cookie tray is completely filled with dipped crackers, I stop dipping, I'll go back, drizzle the crackers, and then go back to dipping. When you place your cookies on the cookie sheet, make sure that they're not touching, or else as the chocolate sets up, they'll all stick together. Once you've filled your cookie tray, if you'd like to drizzle your cookies with colored candy coatings, this is the time to do it while they're still wet and slightly tacky. It's okay if they've started to set up, but you don't want them to be cold. Melt approximately a 1/4 pound of Merckens colored candy coatings in a disposable pastry bag. Place it in the microwave for 20 seconds, take it out of the microwave, and massage the bag to incorporate any hot spots. Place it back in the microwave for another 20 seconds and continue that process just like we did the Merckens dark chocolate until it's completely melted. Here we are with our melted Merckens dark green candy coatings. And just keep working back and forth. You don't have to be perfect with it. Right now, these don't look very glamorous, but I promise you, once we put them in the refrigerator, break off any little overhang and edges, these will look beautiful. After you finish drizzling all of your cookies, place your cookie sheet in the refrigerator and let these chill for about 10 minutes or until completely hardened. Once your cookies have completely set up and hardened in the refrigerator, you can remove them from the cookie sheet and just simply break off any little overhanging pieces of chocolate and place them on your platter. If you're making these during the holidays and need a fun way to package them up, I recommend putting them in our snowflake cellophane bags. These are perfect because you can still see through them, but they've got these adorable little snowflakes scattered all over the bag. Put a couple inside. You can be as generous as you'd like, but make sure you save some for yourself. Once you have them in the bag, it's as simple as adding a little bit of ribbon. Use your scissors and give it a little pull. May have to do it more than once. And just like that, you've got these perfect little cookie treat bags to give out at cookie exchanges or to your coworkers. Put them in your stockings as stocking stuffers. The great thing about this recipe is it makes so much, so you'll have to do less work and you'll have more gifts to give. You can get the Merckens candy coatings, Lorann Peppermint Oil, packaging supplies, and so much more at confectioneryhouse.com, where you'll find everything you need for your holiday baking and candy projects. Or you can come visit us in our store located in Troy, New York. If you decide to give this recipe a try and make our no-bake thin mint cookies, be sure to tag us in your photos on social media because we love seeing what you make.